everybody. This is Chris Baker, the host of the podcast. Tell me your story. I want to just say thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And today's special guest to tell her story is DM Cummings. And we're just going to do like how we always do. We're going to jump right into this and start from the beginning. Talk about early childhood, where you grew up at. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So my name is Nikita. I was born and raised in Akron, Ohio. I currently work a 9 to 5 as a medical billing supervisor. I am a full-time parent of 3 daughters, and I'm also a self-published author of 3 books. Is Real Love Worth My Life, which is here. Diamond's Pearl, which is my second book, and Take a Walk in My Shoes, which is the last book that I wrote, and I'm currently working on a 4th book.
Are they all the same plot? What are these books about?
Well, Is Real Love Worth My Life is a story on domestic violence, and they are not self-help books. They all have a they all have a storyline, which will make you think about situations, but they're not no they're not lecture books. Okay, and you could probably tell from the cover that they're actual novels.
I know as like
Yep.
for like what I just saw just now is just seeing the 3 different titles and 3 different
Mhm.
covers, and it looked like 3 different books altogether.
They are. Yep. So the second book, Diamond's Pearl, which is about, I'm gonna say pretty much about teen issues. It's about a young chick who grew up with, um, she had a baby when she was a teenager, and her mom made her be a parent, and the struggles that she went through, and how when she got loose, she got loose.
Well,
Okay.
that's how you
So
know I don't judge. Never judge a book by a cover, because I totally
that's
looked at
right.
that and I thought detective. I was like, that's a detective book.
No, it's not detective, but it's a story. All right. And then the last book that I wrote, Take a Walk in My Shoes, is actually was a ghost write. And it is a story on child molestation.
Wow.
Yep. This is the book that got me back writing because I had gave up on writing. But I'll talk about that later.
All right. Well, let's just jump
Yep.
into it. Like, okay, you said it started off in Akron, Ohio. Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have two brothers. Well, I have 2 brothers. Yes, one living, one deceased, and that's why I quit writing because my brother passed away. I lost interest in my writing.
Yeah.
So, but when I did this ghostwrite, I think it took like about another 6 years, and then I start. Now I'm back into it now, and I'm ready. I'm ready.
Where'd you
Yeah.
Was it easy growing up in Akron? Were you in a good neighborhood?
um, I was in a really good neighborhood. Yes, we had like really nobody lived around us, so I had to walk everywhere to get to people. So,
No,
but no,
that's
I really enjoyed. I like that though, because like I said, I like my privacy. So couldn't
yeah.
nobody say they was just riding by because we didn't live by nothing.
Huh.
Hmm.
And what was what would you say was like the longest or closest to you, like grocery store, or would it be like a 5 minute walk to?
No, there was some stores there. Like there was like a little churches that was up the road, and then there was like a couple corner stores that we could walk to, and there was a park up the street.
Oh.
But we lived like more on a dead end, so there was nothing down there.
And what year is this? What are you in the
I moved
90s,
from
80s?
This was in the 90s.
The
Well,
90s.
no, I grew up in the 80s, so I moved from over that area in the 2000s, early 2000s.
So this is before technology.
Yes, it
This is the
was.
good days. This is what the good days where you had to be home when the street lights came on and
Oh,
everybody
I
knew each
wasn't
other
allowed
in
to
the
go
neighborhood.
nowhere. I wasn't allowed to go nowhere, so I was in the house playing video games,
Locked down.
listening to music.
For me, it
Yeah,
was either do your chores and be locked in the house all day, or get outside and play all day and be outside all day until the
yeah.
streetlights came on.
Well, yeah, that was for the boys, not the girls.
I can see that too. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, School. How was your school experience?
Um, well, I really liked high school. I will go back in my era, not this era. Um, I think I was more of the person like, if someone got bullied, I'll make them my friend.
Hey.
So people wouldn't mess with us because we had our little. I'm not gonna say a clique, but our little group of friends that we didn't really nobody really bothered us. So we was like pretty much the cool kids. Yep. So I did get like prom. I was first attendant for prom. So I
Hey.
got like nice big trophy and all the flowers, all that stuff. Yeah, I think I was really kind of popular a little bit in school.
You were running the school, huh?
Nah, I ain't gonna say I was running it, but
He was close. He
yeah,
was close.
yeah, I had a good time in high school.
And just kind of like give it a feel. Like just describe how that was. How did that feel? Just being that everybody. You just clicked with everybody. That
You
way,
see,
the
I'm
the
still like
listener
that
watching
though.
can get a taste of it.
Yeah, I'm still like that. I go sit in the park. People come up to me and start just telling me stories about their life, and I'd be looking around like, okay. I mean, I don't know if I just have that face. I don't know, but people just come and just start talking to me.
You and me both, man. That's what's happening
Hmm.
here, right?
Well, true, 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 true. Yep.
Coming out and telling their stories, man.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah.
love it though. I mean, that's to me, I see it as like a really gifted personality, just to be able to talk to anybody, really, and how
Yeah.
awesome that is. And I thank God every day for it. To be honest, like really, thank you, Lord, just for having the gift to just be able to talk to anybody, just see
Right.
anybody and
And
just
I like
comfort them.
and I like helping people anyway. So like if I mean I always give an advice. You come to me with a problem, I probably know somebody that been through what you've been through, and I probably start making suggestions or
What, what would you say is your most common one though that people come to you for?
questions.
Yep.
Well, they more come tell me their story. Like, girl, I was out last night and I met this dude and blah 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 blah. And I was thinking, okay. And then they'll go on and start telling me, well, it was his brother and his cousin. This was the other day somebody came and told me, I met his brother and this cousin, and then we started talking. I'm like, well, so what you do? And they told me their whole little story about whatever happened with their relationship, how they end up picking the bad guy. And went on from that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, a lot of people pick the good guy never wins. Everybody always seem to pick the bad guy.
And why is that? I've noticed that too. It always seems to be the same
Yeah,
pattern over and over and over. Is it because they feel like maybe I can be that person to change that guy or that girl, I should say?
well, I think sometimes the bad guys are fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
sometimes the good guys are boring, especially like when you're younger, you don't really know. But once you start getting older and realize, ah, man, I chose the wrong one. It was fun while I was young, but now that I'm older and ready to settle down, this ain't it.
yeah, I can agree to that too. You're just in that
Yeah,
wild because when you're younger, you're in that wild stage. You're ready to set the world on fire, and you're ready to just do
right.
whatever. And then you got to
Yeah.
find that rebel without a cause. And yeah, that makes total sense.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so when you get older, you're like, okay, I need to calm down a little bit. I need somebody that is the same way. I can't have this
Really, you
where
just somebody to get up and go to work every day, and
we're
yeah, somebody ready to have a family, not just run the streets.
can't just be running around anymore like we used to. We gotta calm
Right.
down, buckle down, man.
Hmm. Yep.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So did you end up going to college after you graduated?
Yes, I actually did. I went to college several times. So I have 3 degrees.
Oh,
I have a degree in business management, computer programming, and medical office management.
and which one is your favorite out of all of them?
Um, well, I don't have a favorite. I mean, I actually work as a medical office. Of course, I'm using that degree as of now, but with my other degrees, it really helped me with my business. When I first started writing, I was able to do my own web pages. I was able to like do a lot of the computer work, like format all my stuff. I was able to do a lot of stuff on my own because I had the experience with the degrees. So I had worked on all this stuff. So it saved me a lot of money.
Yeah. What you did it for like 2 years, right? 2 years
2 years what?
for each degree. You went
Oh
to
yes. Well, the first one you got to take all those crash courses. So I think my first degree took me probably maybe little over 3 years maybe. And then I had a kid in there too somewhere. So yeah.
how did that work out? Did you end up meeting them in college or it was somebody you already knew?
I knew them prior to college. Yes. Yep. Yeah, and we, yeah. Yeah.
And it just happened. It just
Yeah, that
happened,
happened.
man.
Yeah, we dated for a while, but yeah, it didn't go, where I wanted it to go. But we got a beautiful little girl out the whole deal.
Yeah, it works, man. Um, so how long did it take you to get into, like, after you graduated from college, to find that job, the medical field?
Well, I'm gonna go back to excuse me, like the medical billing. I just got that degree probably maybe 5 years, 6 years ago. My computer programming and my business management degree. Yeah, I had a hard time finding jobs in those fields. I did have one where I was working for the Food and Commercial Workers Union, and they were grooming me to be the manager of that department while I was finishing school.
Hmm.
But excuse me, a lot of things shifted with the company though, and I ended up getting moved because I never wanted to work in the medical field. I always was into computers. But I ended up having to move over to the health and welfare because, like I said, things shift and I was the last to be hired. And since it was a union, everything is based off of seniority. I was the last one hired in, so they ought to have been the first to go. But they didn't want to let me go because they liked me, to say that. So they said, you can go over to the health and welfare department or you can quit. Those are your options. So, of course, I'm a single parent. So I went and I liked it. And that's how I ended up going back to school to get my medical office management degree.
Now, being a single parent, was it harder for you? And, like, did you have, like, a babysitter while you were in school,
Yeah.
or how'd that work
hmm
out?
Actually, my first was, but I have 3 kids. So with my first child, yes, it was very easy. My mom thought that was her kid, so she had her all the time. And if she wasn't with her mom, her dad, he was self-employed, so he would keep her while I was at school, or my mom would have her. So she was always somewhere with either my mom or her dad.
All right.
So yeah, I had a nice support system. hmm
And then it just worked out, man. It just worked out perfectly. You got out, and boom.
Well, no, I mean, I had some struggles. I mean, like, yeah, we had some struggles over here, like financial struggles over here, where I had to work 2 jobs. I didn't hardly ever get to see my daughter.
Well, let's jump into it. Let's talk about that. Are you comfortable talking about that, or
I don't care.
okay? Let's jump into it. Like, just graduating, and then the financial problems. How was that?
No, it was a struggle. I mean, I stressed a lot, So, um, I this is something that I always people not to ever do. You always should buy something based off of your income, not depending on anyone else. So my first house I brought based off of 2 incomes. And then when things didn't work out, I was left to build, to pay everything by myself, and I couldn't afford it. Yeah. So I mean, I spent a lot of days at my mama's house eating dinner. Yep. And then
Hey, you're just being real, man. You're just being real. That's how
yeah.
it is sometimes. I know exactly how
Yeah.
that is.
Yep. I hated working 2 jobs. 2 jobs are for 2 people, but I mean, what was I gonna do? I wasn't gonna mess up my credit by letting my house go, and I wasn't gonna be homeless. So I had to do what I had to do.
Busting them 2 jobs. Where was you working at? Was you a server? Were you working in, like,
Ooh, nah,
factory?
I didn't do well in the fast food industry. I tried it; it wasn't for me. I think I lasted 2 months,
2 months,
and politely
man.
handed them back their uniforms. And yeah, this ain't for
Here's this
me.
apron. I don't need it.
Yeah, take this stuff. I'm not doing this. But no, I was working at the union still, and then I was also working at it was MBNA. It was a credit card company. So I was calling people, offering them credit cards, bugging them, pretty much. Yeah, but yeah, it paid the bills.
Hold on. Just describe, like, a typical day, just taking phone calls and doing all that good stuff. Just having to call somebody about a credit card. How does that go for you?
Yep, I would. Well, first of all, I used to talk really, really fast. So they used to always be like, "You have to slow down. You talk to them, they can't understand you." But I would have to. I would get we had a queue, so the calls would come through to us, and we'll call, and we'd be like, this is the benefits of having this credit card. If and we'd give them this whole little long spiel we had to read. And then if they were interested and we sold one, we would get some kind of commission for getting somebody to apply for a credit card. And then we had to read them on this whole little long disclosure. Yeah, it was, like I said, it paid the bills.
I'm just thinking, like, how many times did you start telling somebody that you're a credit card and you heard click, click,
Sick. Yep, a lot. Yeah, it was a lot.
click?
Yep.
You're who?
Yeah.
You're who?
But
You're
like I
who?
said, it wasn't bad though. It wasn't too bad. Yeah,
I
it
bet.
wasn't
I
too bad
mean, like
though.
you said, it paid the bills. It's what helped you get through. You got it done. You did what you had to do.
Hmm.
Was that like? Is that like
Right.
minimum? How much do you make doing that? Minimum wage?
I think it was maybe $9 an hour, but this was like back in 2009, 2010. It was back then.
Back in 09.
Yeah.
That feels like that was just yesterday.
It do. It do.
2009 just feels like it was yesterday. It's the year 2022
Yeah.
already. I remember
Hmm.
writing in the calculators how old I want to be in this this time frame. How old would I be in 2022?
Yeah. But see, luckily I had a really good friend. They was just a friend. And they was like, you need to not work two jobs. They were like, what can I do to help you out? So they put in and gave me a mortgage payment, and that helped me out. That helped me get on my feet.
Yeah,
And they, like I said, we're still like best friends as of today.
that's cool though. That's a good friend to have though to help you
Yeah.
get back on your feet, and more people need that connection. You know.
They said they seen that I was trying, and they respected it.
And then
Hmm.
once you finally got back on your feet, how long did it take you to get back on your feet? I should ask.
I'm gonna say probably about a good maybe a year or so. Yeah. But see, we got really nice bonuses, like Christmas bonuses and stuff at the union and stuff. So yeah, that helped me out with them nice little bonuses.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
once it became one job, where did it start? Where was it?
I was still at the union. I never left.
Oh, you stayed at the union. Are you still there now? Are you?
Yeah. No, nope. I moved over to like I said, I had to move over to the health and welfare department. I worked at that company for 14 years. And then they moved us up to Broadview Heights, and that's when the gas was, I think it was 2013, gas was like 350. And I had this big SUV. Yeah, and then I got caught in a couple whiteouts up there because the snow belt is like right that way. And
Mhm.
then um they gave somebody a supervisor job over me, although I had two college degrees and they had a high school diploma. But since their seniority was 6 months prior to me, they gave them their supervisor job over me, and I was like, oh yeah, my worth is more than this, so I quit.
You're like, I'm out. Peace.
Yeah,
See
yeah.
ya.
So that's just, yeah. No 2 week notice. They
I'm
got
out of
8 days, 7 days. Yep. But that's how I ended up working where I'm currently working now with the medical billing, because I work for a medical billing center. So I had to start as always from the bottom, but it's okay because I did like eligibility, which was okay, which really got my foot in the door. But I got a promotion like every year I got a promotion.
here. How awesome is that? Let
Yeah, and so now I'm a supervisor. So there's always hope.
just be a
And
bounce right
somebody
into it.
told me, huh?
Instead of just being a promotion every year, is it like a good promotion or is that one of those like a quarter promotion?
No, it was a good promotion. So I went from analyst to a senior.
Whoa.
Then I was a website coordinator, which I
Oh.
had to do like for the whole company. And then I went to supervisor.
How did it feel? Just rising up like that.
It felt real good.
You bet.
It felt real good.
Especially to see the salary going up too. You're like, hey, I like this. And then not only that, but doing something that you actually like, you enjoy doing.
Yes, like I said, because I never had an interest in it, but when I was pretty much forced to go, I actually was like, oh, this ain't too bad.
Like I could see myself doing this for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, and I love the people. Like I said, I'm a real people. I'm a people person. I love like talking to people and just getting around. So I talk to everybody in the company because I had to get their access to their websites. So I had to talk to everybody.
Kind of like talk about that a little bit. Just designing a website and getting into a website, doing all that fun stuff. How much work goes into that, like behind the scenes?
Like just well, when I was designing websites, it's actually well first, I'm old school. So I had the first when I first did my first website, I used HTML. So I built it from the ground. I did all the coding, did all that stuff. But then my brother showed me how to use Dreamweaver.
Hey.
So then it was just drag cut. I was able to get it together real quick.
And everybody
Yep.
that's watching right now, before there was
Huh?
Facebook, before there was
Okay.
Facebook, anybody that's watching or listening, before there was Facebook, we had MySpace that taught you
Yep.
how to do that, how to code and everything. So, any of you guys that don't know what MySpace is, you guys missed out on good times. You guys
Yeah.
missed out
Yep.
on free programs, how to learn how to code and everything. We used to be able to design our own pages.
We did use it, but I already knew, so I had to pay for my education.
We was like, I had
I
this
didn't get
down.
to get mine free.
No flex.
Yeah. And then let's talking about that. So let's look at how the times change with the cost of education.
hmm
So I've compared. So when I went to school back in the 90s, it was like 3 times less than it is now. My first 2 degrees, two were less than the last one that I got 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
How does that feel?
Yeah, it sucks. And now I got a student loan. I didn't have none at first. I had them paid off.
Keep it real, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
And I really feel like there's a lot of people out here that have graduated and they're not even using those degrees, but they're paying for them.
Nope.
And how
Yeah.
how much that sucks to do all that time. College was fun. I got to party,
Yeah.
but
And
that
a lot of
degree,
people
man.
took advantage of that though, because I talked to a lot of people. We were talking about student loans and stuff. A lot of people, when they give you all those like grants and everything, or excuse me, just the loan part, they would take all the loans and like live off of them, buy cars and do silly stuff with the money instead of using it for their education. I didn't do that. I gave if like for my last time, they were sending me cost of living checks. I deposit them, throw the check back, and send it back. I didn't need it, and I wasn't finna drag all that debt up, for no reason.
Now, did you actually you said just community college? You didn't go to the university of 4 years?
No, I went to University of Akron.
Okay,
Oh, I
okay.
don't. Yeah, I went to University of Akron for my first two, and my last two I went to Kaplan University.
Did you stay? Did you
Definitely
get the
medical.
chance to experience campus life? Did you stay on campus?
No, I had a kid. Yeah. Had my own apartment, and my work schedule. I used to work at the post office while I was going to school with the kid, so I didn't want to be bothered with no dorm life. I needed to come home and get my little 4 hours of sleep so I can get back up and start my day again.
I was at the University of Toledo. That was my college experience, and I stayed
Okay,
at a place called Park Towers, and I stayed up on the 11th floor there. And
hope you had an elevator.
yeah, I was gonna tell you.
Okay.
I was gonna start to get into that. I was like, you ever had a terrible experience on campus while you stayed there, but you didn't because you had a kid? So I answered that question myself. And yes, I did. I actually did have a terrible experience. I was
What
showering, and like I said, I was on the 11th floor, and then the fire alarm went off, and I couldn't, I wasn't allowed to go back into my room because they would fine us at the time because it was the drill. We had to go outside, and it's the middle of fall, so I have to grab my towel and walk all the way down the 11 flights of steps
Oh nah.
outside
You
and
couldn't
stand
grab a
out there.
robe or something else, some jogging pants.
They would not let me go to the room. I yelled. I'm like, "Come on, let me put something on at least. I do not want to go outside in just a
Oh,
towel."
that's wrong. That is wrong.
Yeah, it was quite the experience. And everybody's like,
Look,
they wouldn't let you put clothes on. I'm like, dude, I tried, man. They said they were gonna fine me $200 if I did. And
you
I'm
like
like,
living on campus?
it was okay.
was okay.
Not being from Toledo, I didn't realize that the campus is actually in the worst part of Toledo.
Oh,
It's where like Detroit's coming in and everybody's coming in, and that's where they're staying at. They're just low key. And I didn't,
wow.
and being that I wasn't from Toledo, I didn't know anything about it. I never had any bad experiences on that stuff. But hearing about it after I graduated, I was like, man, I never knew. I would have never guessed.
Well, that's good. I mean, you wasn't hanging out partying too much, huh?
No, and well, I did my fair share, but I never really cared for it, to be honest.
Okay,
Anybody that's
good.
watching, listening, go ahead if you want to, but you're not missing nothing. Ain't
Nope.
nothing.
Mm-mm. No.
And then, yeah, that was my Toledo experience. So if anybody ever wanted to know where I went to school at, there you go. There you go.
Okay, well, good.
Give you a
That's
little
good. You went
insider.
to college, but what did you major in?
I did, believe it or not, when I first went to the University of Toledo, I was undecided. So
Okay.
I did like, I think it was like foreign business trade or something like that I first signed up for. And then later down the line, I ended up switching over to journalism and saying, hey,
Okay.
I want to do this instead. Because I was like,
Well,
I
you
like
like to talk to
writing,
people,
I like
so.
doing this.
Hmm.
Here I am now.
Right. I said you like talking to people, so you did a good, you
Yeah.
know.
I love talking to people, love getting down and just being able to hear everybody's stories. Because, like I
Yeah.
said, everyone has a story.
Everybody has a story.
Everybody you walk by, man. Just
Yep.
give them a chance. Just talk to them.
Hmm.
You'll
Yep.
see.
I hear a lot of them.
You'll see. She knows.
Yep.
I know.
Hmm.
Now it's your turn.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I know I like working a lot with kids too, like younger kids, because I just always feel like they didn't ask to be here, and I don't know. I just got a big heart for kid. I would, don't try to get over it though, but I'll do anything for a kid.
Gonna make me start crying.
Whatever. No, I even let some girl live here. Like she came over one day. She was one of my oldest daughter's friends. She came over one day and she spent the night. But like 3 or 4 days went by and she was still here. And I'm like, hey man, you need to call your mom. I mean, do your mom know where you at? I don't harbor runaways. I mean, I need to speak to your parent. So she called her mom. Her mom was pretty much okay. That's thank you, bye. I mean, that's pretty much was the conversation. So she stayed here for probably a month. And every day my daughter was in the sports, she would just wait around until my daughter got home. I wouldn't let her stay in my house because I didn't really know her. But she would just wait around until my daughter got home and she'll come back. So um everything was okay. But one day my little kids found a purse in my oldest daughter's room and it had a lot of marijuana in it. And they
Oh,
brought it and gave it to my mom. And because my mom would be over here, while I was still at work, she'd get them from daycare and bring them here. So anywho, so when I waited till they both got home and I asked them, and the girl was like, because she called me mom, she was like, I'm sorry, mom, that's mine. And I was like, you gotta go. And I was like, cause I got little kids around here. You're not finna, I know kids have their own mind. My daughter was like, I think she was 14 or she went to Hope, and I'm not, I think she might have been ninth grade. Um, I was like, yeah, I don't. My little kids could have got a hold of this, and this could have been bad.
yeah.
Yeah, so she had to go, but I helped her as much as I could
Do you
because
know?
that's just the first.
Do you know
Go ahead.
why? Like, did you ever figure out why she was coming over so much and she was just
Yep,
avoiding her
her
home life?
mom was her mom was on drugs.
Oh, and she just didn't want to be
Yeah.
around it.
Nope, nope. I don't know what was on inside the home, but no, she didn't want to be there.
It makes sense too. It just
Hmm.
and it's sad to see that. Is that what kind of inspired you to write some of your books? Just stories like that?
Well, my first book I wrote because I was listening to the radio one day, and I think it was a topic on domestic violence, and everybody was calling in talking about some. Oh man, if that was me, I would this, I did this, and then I also had a friend who, she's a close friend of the family. She died from domestic violence. She was a young chick. So I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, everybody always say what they're gonna do if they actually into that situation. So I'm about to write a story because I've been through some things myself. I'm about to write a story and I want to just tell people that you can do what you think you're actually gonna do until you actually are in that situation. So that's how I wrote my first book.
And let's kind of dig into that a little bit and talk about
Okay.
just the stuff that you dealt with, and that what helped you, inspired you to write more into this. That kind of, like you said, it kind of touched you on a deeper note because you've been through it, and helped you to want to write it so people could understand more clearly. And what happened? Can we,
Like with me?
yeah.
Oh well, I mean, I just made some bad. We not go all into that, but I made some bad decisions. Some people we was talking about how the bad guys. A lot of people want the bad guy, so I end up getting with the bad guy, and they just didn't work out. I mean, he wanted he. I think there was more of a controlling thing because they were kind of older or whatever. But um, yeah, it was an experience. That's all I'm gonna go into on that note.
Now, was it just the one experience for you? You're like, okay, that I learned after that one bad guy, or was there several other?
Oh no, that was the only one. That was the only one that the only battleship that I had. I didn't have any further. No.
Thank
You live and
you.
learn, and you start seeing, you can see signs and patterns, and I will cut you off in a heartbeat. I will, if I don't like it, I will never talk to you again. It don't bother me one way or the other. I can just cut you off just like that.
Wow.
So yeah, so if I see signs, you will never have to worry about me answering my phone again if you call me.
Yeah. I mean, that's what better way to put it, man. I mean,
Right.
honestly,
Yeah.
like, dude, I gotta go.
Yeah, yep. You not for me. I'll let you know. Look, this ain't what I'm looking for. So
And then more
yeah,
importantly, just having kids too in the picture. That's a big deal. You don't
yeah.
want them to be around that at all.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I totally respect that.
yeah,
What about
yeah.
your other books?
Okay, so the other book that I wrote, Diamond's Pearl, is this kind of pretty much a made up story. I mean,
What?
it's like so.
It's what? It's made up.
It's it's a made yeah,
What?
it's just a made up story.
Come
Cause
on,
I
no.
don't know, I have a crazy mind. I don't know if my mind is just ratchet, but I have a crazy mind, and I be thinking so out the box.
um, I was gonna read this whole book thinking it was like based on a true character, and I thought it was a real story, but no, no, it's all
You
up in
know
your
what?
head.
Yeah. Well, the first one of these, well, two of these books are based on a real story. You have to read them to figure out which one.
I
Two of
definitely,
them are based on real stories.
I like
Yeah.
reading, man. So I definitely slide them my way, and I'll read those books. I'll read all three of them.
Yeah, I love to read too. I read a lot.
Like you said, though, it's all you have an active imagination. You're able to think up so much stuff. I'm in the same boat. That's why I love reading
Yeah.
because I put myself as
Yeah.
the character in the books. I always put
You can
myself
take
as the main character, and then I play it out and picture it all in my head. And it's like, because people ask me all the time, how do you get into reading? How do you like reading so much? I'm like, it's just that reason. I play it like a movie in my head. Like I'm the character, and
hmm
I'm making the scenes and everything come to life.
Yeah. Actually, I actually did a stage play on my first book too. Yep, at the Akron library I think I did two separate shows like on different months or whatever. But yeah, I actually it was the first book was the book talk in the Akron Beacon Journal, and then I did a stage play on it. That was, I mean, I promoted this book so much. I just was really into it. I got to meet Vicky Stringer. I'm not sure if you know who she is. She wrote that book, Let That Be the Reason, and she did like 10 years in prison for she was like a driver for a drug dealer or whatever. So I got to meet her and do an event with her. Yeah, I did. I got to do a lot. I had a lot of exposure because of that book.
I bet. And how was it that first book? That taste of getting yourself
It
out
was
there to the world.
it was nice. I mean, I don't. Like I said, I just wrote it just to be writing something, and then I put it out there, and it actually started going somewhere. But I ran into a lot of problems. Like for instance, I had to end up driving to New York because I was having my books, proofread and printed and everything in New York. And when I got my proofs back, it was a lot of errors in there. And
Uh-oh.
he said he wasn't going to change it because he had did like the photo print or whatever. He did some kind of real fancy printing on the pages. And
Yeah.
he said, "Oh, I can't go back and change all that. It's going to take too long." I said, "Well, I'll pay you per word." Then he said he wasn't sending me my stuff.
Oh,
So I had to drive to New York. I was pregnant. I had to drive to New York to get my books because I had already paid for them. Yeah. So that was one journey but I learned a lot. I said I learned a lot from this book. I learned a lot about how the business worked, and I do everything pretty local now. So Pennsylvania, that's a 2-hour drive. Pennsylvania, where I pretty much do all my printing and stuff.
you
Yeah, and
don't
so
want to take
far I
no
have
trips to New York no more?
no.
Now,
No,
was that your first time to New York too?
that was my no. I had went well. No, I had went there on like bus shopping trips before. They used to do that back in the day. Yeah, I did that a couple of times, but that was my first time just being able to just be around the city. I had to catch a cab because I wasn't driving in that crazy. They drive crazy up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I caught a cab the whole time. I wasn't driving up there.
Yeah, like I'm driving up here.
No,
I think a lot of people that are from New York would tell you that they're not driving in that stuff, and especially
no,
I mean around this time of the year, what kind of weather they get up there. Oh, you think
no. See,
Ohio's
I never.
bad?
New York is worse. I never been there in the winter.
Yeah, they get it. Like this, you say traffic's bad. Just imagine that. Think about it like this. Think how people drive when it starts raining, when it starts snowing here. People start
Mm,
freaking out. Now
yeah,
imagine that being in the city, in New York, but all them cars, and it starts
bumper to
raining, people start
bumper.
freaking out.
Yeah, because they're like beat before they're like beat, then they try to cut in front of you. I'm like,
Yeah,
what? I was like, yeah, I can't deal with this.
like nope, nope.
Yeah.
Be better off in a cab, man.
Yep, that's what I did. The whole I stayed up there for like 3 days because I ended up finding some this lady up there, and she got me into an event. So she said, "Well, just want to be here, I can just get you into this little show they're having here." So I know Stan to do that.
You ever have any problems with the taxi drivers at all?
No, well, no, I don't usually get in the cab. That was my only time. I don't. I rather drive myself. I'm scared of them.
I I have actually a funny story. I was in Pittsburgh. I was in downtown Pittsburgh, and I was going to the airport, and I forgot there's a fee, in the cabs because I'm not so used to taking them. This taxi driver, as I was unloading it, and I was about to just go and get to the airport, he was willing to fight me because I didn't give him the whole thing because I didn't give him the rest of the 5 cents. He was ready to
Are
throw.
you serious?
He was ready to throw hands.
Over a nickel?
Yeah, over a nickel. I was like, dude, are you? I was like,
That is funny.
I was looking at my buddy who was with me. I was like, "Is this dude serious?" And yeah, he was ready to fight because I didn't give him the whole thing. I guess because I owed him
I would just gave him a
a
whole another
nickel,
dollar. Here, just be happy.
and that's exactly what I did. I was like, "Dude, if it's that bad, here's a buck, man.
Right.
Here's a tip to you." Oh, you're
Yeah,
trying to fight me
nah.
over a nickel.
Mm. I had another good experience. I got to go to on the Judge Mathis show.
Ooh, how was that?
That was fun. That was really fun. I was a nervous, really, really nervous, but he could tell, so he kind of, made me laugh a couple times so I could, relax down. But I really enjoyed that. The experience was great. They flew us out there. They had like a driver come pick us up. It was really nice. And it was all because of, again, my first book. I learned so much from that book.
And
Yeah.
did you see it playing out like that too with your first book, or were you just
No,
amazed by
I was really amazed, like I said, because I just was doing it just to do something. And it actually just really went somewhere.
it?
Yeah.
That's just crazy in itself because a lot of people I think a lot of people need to hear that right now. That are watching, listening. It's like if you have an idea that you're sitting on, man, and you're thinking like, yeah, I should do that. Maybe I should try that.
Yeah,
Do it. Do it
I agree
because
with you. Yes.
as you see right here, this is a perfect example. You just decided one day, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna write this book
Hmm.
and see what happens, what goes from there.
You have right.
And look what
Yep, and it
happened.
actually went. Yes. Yeah.
Your
Yeah. Yes,
ideas,
and
you
I
put
enjoy writing though.
your ideas into the world, man, and they will blossom. You're planting your
Yeah,
seeds.
that's right. You got to start somewhere.
It's written.
Mhm. Yep. You have to start somewhere. Yes.
And just that first experience though, man, when the phone started ringing, how were you feeling in that moment? When you started getting calls, or was it?
Well,
Did it happen right
the
away?
first, no, the first calls that I started getting was from the people that want you to pay all this money to publish your books. So, and I was like, what do you offer? And they was like, well, we can get you on Amazon. We can do this. I can do that myself. So I figured out how to get it in Amazon, how to get it in Barnes and Nobles, how to get it like on Walmart.com, Target. I figured it all out on my own. It took some time, but I had nothing else to do. I mean, I came home from work and went to my little office. That's where I was at.
You're just like I had nothing else to do. I mean, I was
Right.
getting on the internet to see what it's about. I mean, that's really
Yeah.
what people need to do is just get out there and explore and see, what are your options. Too many people are quick to pull the trigger on like, I gotta pay somebody. I need to pay somebody to do this, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's so easy nowadays with technology that you can pretty
Right.
much, as we speak, if you have a book you want to publish right now, and you're looking for an answer, I can tell you right now, you can go on Amazon and publish it yourself.
Yep.
You don't
Yep.
need somebody to do it for you. You don't need to pay
Mm-mm.
anybody to go over your work. I mean, if you really want it professionally done, yes. But if you feel confident enough to get your stuff out there, your material, any of it, boom, Amazon.
Make sure you get a copywritten though first.
Oh yeah,
Nobody steal your stuff.
take it from the writer right here. She'll tell you the rest.
Yep.
That way, nobody steals your stuff either. You post it out
Right.
there. That's the whole
Yeah.
copyright.
Then they look it's not copywritten, and next thing you know, your book got a new cover and somebody else's name on it.
Yep. Or it'd be one of those stories where you're like, man, this movie that I'm watching right now kind of it seems so
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
really where it starts, man. Like I said, you create the idea in your imagination when you read books, and that's how movies come.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Because I wanted to try to do a movie. Uh, yeah, I do. I'm a maybe get in. I
Yeah.
do want to do one.
I was getting to that question.
Yeah.
Are these books going to become movies? Is that your
Well,
plan in the future?
I would like for one of them to. Yes.
And which one is that?
Probably is Real Love Worth My Life, the first one. That's my favorite one. Everybody keep telling me quit saying that, but I don't know what it is.
What is it all about? Give us
It's
tell us a
okay.
little
I
bit
can say so.
more
It's
about
about
it.
this. It's about this young girl who got involved with this local drug dealer, and um, everybody told her that it wasn't the right thing to do, but she didn't listen. And then next thing you know, he started like when she would go somewhere, he would like bust out her windows and slash her tire. He was just doing all this stuff to her, even though he had other women. He was doing stuff to her to make her just stay with him. And um, I think when she ended up having a kid by him. And then once things changed, like once she got pregnant by him, kind of the tables kind of turned. She kind of reversed the table, and then she started messing with him.
Oh, oh.
Yeah.
What's going on in your head? How did this come about, man? What's going
Yeah.
on here? That's
Yeah.
good though. I mean, you said you came up with that yourself, or was that like a real life event that took place?
Well, this, like I said, some of these, like this one, two of them, or sometimes like I might hear somebody's story, like it's about something, and I might take some of that story and I'll make it into a bigger story. Like to say if you come up to me and be like, girl, I was at the bar, this dude smacked me in the mouth or something, and I was like, Next thing you know, somebody at the bar they got smacked in the mouth, but then something else happened. I mean, yeah. I can
You had somebody say that to you, though, randomly. Some I
no.
was at the bar. I was at the bar, sipping a drink, man. You came out and slapped me, and then walked away. Slapped the
Well,
shit out
shoot,
of my hand.
nowadays people weird. They bite.
Yeah, um, yeah. I mean, I could actually see that.
Yeah.
I've seen being in bars, man. I've seen some crazy stuff like that.
hmm
I was sitting there. I remember sitting in a bar one time, and it was kind of. I was just sitting there talking to my buddy, having a drink with him, and then the people across from me, this guy is just hooping and hollering, being loud. All of a sudden, you hear like I'm looking at my buddy, and he's like his eyes are all like about to pop out of his head because this dude comes into the door into this bar and takes a bottle to the guy that's being loud across from us and just bashes over his head.
See?
Bam! And it sounded like a gunshot went off because how hard it was. Like, and I'm
Yeah,
just looking
no.
at. He's looking at me like, "Did you see that?" I'm like, "Nah, dude, I was too busy talking to you." Too busy talking to
Right.
you.
Yep, I ain't see nothing.
Like, nope, nope. They asked me any
Yep.
questions. I didn't see nothing, man.
Yeah.
And if anybody's wondering, yes, I did leave shortly after that. I was like, I gotta
I
go.
know that's right.
I didn't stick
Yeah.
around. I said, I'm out. See you.
That's what I'm telling everybody. Don't be sitting back trying to watch a fight. You better get up and go because they might start shooting or anything.
Around here, man, that's a pretty normal thing.
Yeah.
At least when I was going out. I mean, to me, it got very old quick because it was the same crowd every week, and you ain't missing
Well, I
nothing.
don't know. We had a bar up here that I used to go. I used to be there every Saturday. Cause it was a nice. I mean, they taught you how to line dance. It was a nice. I like being there.
Around here, it's kind of like we have nice places, but you get people that hang around the wrong people and they drag around the wrong
Yeah.
people, and like you said, before you know it, guns are getting involved and places are getting shot up, and this is a place you
Yeah.
don't want to be.
Oh, I don't go out no more. This bad. Yeah, I don't go out anymore.
No, I've
If I
actually
can find
heard.
a 35 and over, huh?
Yeah, I've actually heard around here nowadays they're actually charging $20 at the door just to get in anywhere because like after COVID and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like, who's gonna pay $20 to go to a bar? But there's people
Not
out
me.
there
I
that are
buy. You
doing it.
can buy a bottle and be at your own house.
I was like, dude, I could
Yeah,
take that
man.
$20 and buy myself a whole case.
Yeah, that's what I said. Buy you a nice bottle. Yeah. I don't know.
And if anybody's wondering, no, I don't drink.
Mhm.
My wife cleaned me up. She told me you don't
Well,
need
that's
that stuff.
good.
So if anybody's wondering, your buddy old Chris over here, he gave up that lifestyle thanks to Mrs. Baker. She did that.
That's good. I know that's right. Good job.
Thank you, honey, if you're watching this.
hmm Right. Yeah.
Man, where were we? Okay, we're in the storytelling business. Your second book. Hold on, I want to go back to the first. How long did it take you to write that first book?
Well, I can say it now because I don't work there no more. But my first job, actually, I had a lot of free time, so I would sit there with a like some work on top of a piece of paper, and I sit there and I would write all day. So let's say it probably took me probably to do everything like probably less than a year, maybe
Wow.
yeah, about a year.
And you had a lot of downtime.
I did, like I said, because I and this is like the biggest book. I think it's like 300 and it's it's 200 and like 54 pages. Yeah.
And that's the whole, yeah, 1 year, man. That's good too.
I said I had nothing but time.
Nothing but time.
hmm
Then once you got to your second book, how long did that take you?
Well, that took a little bit longer because, like I said, I was working full time. I think I had two more kids after that, so that one took me probably I'm gonna say probably maybe 2 years. Yeah.
2 years, man. You didn't have enough
Hmm.
downtime then.
Nah. Then I was still trying to do like my stage plays, and then yeah.
How how was the stage plays though? Just setting that all up and getting into that.
Actually, I had this little young guy. He actually went to Elliott High School. He was doing a lot of their plays at the school. He helped me out a lot. Yep. So he I produced it, he directed it, and yeah, we had some nice turnouts too.
I bet. And
Yeah.
man, I can only imagine how that was feeling too.
Yeah,
Just
that felt really good. But
going.
it's just like um because like I said, I told you I had gave up. So I had the play was already in motion. And I was like, I'm not doing it. I quit. And he called me and was like, "Look, man, you can't do this." He was like, "You need to get it. Your brother would won't. You need to get up here and you need to get your stuff together and blah 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 blah." So I had to pull strong, and I went ahead and did. Like I said, it was good. It was really good.
I can only imagine just going from having the idea in your head, writing it out,
Hmm.
and then to not only publish it as a book, but to turn it into a play as well. It's like,
Yeah.
whoo.
Yeah. All we had to find a nice little cast locally so they could be able to come to the rehearsals all the time, and yeah, it was. I think the second one was better than the first one. The first one was alright, but the second one it was I felt chills. I felt
Like,
chills.
I could do better. The second one
Yeah.
came out, you're like, okay, that's what I'm looking for. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the final book that, well, not, I shouldn't say the final book because you're gonna probably have plenty more.
I got one more. It'll be probably out in June. No, July. Before the
So
end of summer.
the fans that are watching, there it is. If you're wondering,
Yeah.
I got it out of her.
Yeah.
She's got another book
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been working on it because I was tasked with writing a book with no sex, no cussing. That was the hardest task I ever got in my life. I don't know why, but I had a hard time doing that. But I did it, and I'm almost finished.
Without
Not
no
one
cussing,
cuss word there. No
no.
cussing, and and it's not boring because I was like, that's gonna be boring, but it's not. I reread. I had somebody else read it, and they was like, oh yeah, that's okay.
Like
Hmm.
they could have just used one word, but
Nope, nope. They said they said no sex, no cussing. So it's not one cuss word, and not even hell, not no cuss word.
no cuss words. We kept it
Yep.
PG-13 on this one.
Mhm. Yep. Because I want to try to get them in the school systems.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Um,
Yeah.
how hard was it though? Just to did you find yourself like writing it down, cuss words, and you're like, oh, can't use that. Or
Nope. I just put it away, and I had to come back and like a week later, and then pick back up. Had to get my head back right.
um, yeah, being a writer, I should ask you how what's your mindset and everything? Was it easy just getting back into it every day, or how did you like work yourself back into writing?
Well, like I said, the first time when I first did the last book, I did a ghostwrite, and that's what helped me start again. But I did that one, and then I was like, whatever. Then like I said, I stopped for 14 years. But then when I was trying to get my my one book into this one program, she read it. I mean, it's not a lot of cussing in there, but she said because of the content, it was the child molestation one. She was like that they can't make a child read that
Yeah,
because some of it is a little graphic.
yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, we said we can't make a kid in high school. Some of the parents might complain.
Like,
So they was like, if you,
what is this? You're
huh?
forcing my kid to read.
But when my kids tell me they be read that school, I'm like, what? But
Yeah.
okay, but times has changed. You hear
Well,
so much stuff on TikTok and whatever they be on.
I don't know, man. I think. they kind of get it. They have more access to stuff compared to my time in the 90s.
Yeah.
We had I don't even know if they're still around, but Playboy magazines they were everywhere. And
Everybody's dad had those.
so somebody came across those. That was the talk in the neighborhood. Like, my dad's got this magazine.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, this is before technology, and they're trying to shelter the kids' minds nowadays, and I totally respect that. But during our time, it was
They
like,
it was easier during our times. Right now, you have to monitor everything your kid do. They go to schools. These conversations these kids have, because some kids are exposed to more than others. So they come to school and talk about stuff, and my kids come home and like, "Mom, what this mean?" I'm like, where you hear that
who told
at?
you? Who told you that?
Right, right.
And you
Yeah.
ever are you straight up with them, or are you just like,
Oh
we'll come
yeah.
back to that another time?
No, I'm straight open with my kids. They know they come and they tell me stuff I probably don't want to hear, but I listen because I mean I'd rather you talk to me than talk to somebody in the street.
Yeah, and why not, man? Get the
Right.
truth right then and there, and just let them
Yeah.
know. That way, they don't have because if they're like you, they have that wonder in mind, that imagination where they're coming up with ideas, and you're like, okay, I don't want my kids to fall into that. So let's tell them the truth, get it cleared up. I'll write this down right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take care of
Right.
them. Before you know it, they'll be
Yeah.
acting up, right, and stuff, coming up crazy
Hmm.
ideas.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking you anyway. You have a beautiful imagination.
Oh no, I don't care. I know I got a crazy mind.
She admits it, folks.
Hmm.
She admits it.
Yeah.
I
It's
do
out
too.
there. Yeah.
There's some stuff I come up with, man. I'm like, what am I thinking about right now? Like, what is
Hmm.
this?
Right. Right.
That,
Yeah.
that's the. So, what's your fourth book about? Are you wanna?
Oh, I can talk about it. It's kind of like it's about this young guy who his father went to prison when he was like 3 or 4, and his mother was so used to the lifestyle that they lived when they were together that she was out searching for someone to replace the dad, but she envied her son because he looked like his dad and he act like his dad. So she kind of dogged him out a little bit, but she cherished her daughter. Her daughter had a baby when she was 14. She still put her on this pedestal, put him down like he was nothing. So, and how it affected him, yeah. So I'm gonna go through this, just that part.
True, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I should jump back into it too. Just in case somebody understands what is it? What do you mean by ghostwriting? Like a
Okay,
ghostwriter?
so yeah. So this lady had a story about her life when she was molested as a child back in the 1950s or something like that. I think that was a time where a lot of that was going on. And she wanted someone to hear her story. So she asked me, could I write a story on her life? So I told her, sure. So she gave me all the, details, everything that happened, and we talked like every day, and I'll write out everything that she was saying, and I put it all into a story form, and made it into a book for her.
Oh, so
Yeah,
a little insider. It
yeah.
didn't completely come from your imagination. It actually
No,
came.
that one did it.
It actually
Yep.
came. Is it? Do you get the idea? Does it just come to you off the top of your head, or you get it from like watching like movies, talking to people?
I think I get it from watching movies, reading other books, talking to people. I wake up sometimes early in the morning and something crazy be in my brain. I heard, but write it down real quick. Yeah.
You guys are getting tips left and right. I hope you're not missing them. You wake up,
Yeah.
man, and you have that idea. See, this is what a lot of people I notice, including myself sometimes, where you wake up or after having this crazy dream, or you just have this like awesome idea in your head, it's always best to have like a piece of paper, a notepad,
Hmm.
something, your phone, and just like write it down. Save it
Yeah.
somewhere. That way, when you can come back later in the day, you'll be like, it's either a yeah or no.
Right.
Depending
Voice
on you.
record. If you can't write that fast, you can voice record it real quick. Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've had that plenty of times where I've come up with ideas just from the very moment I woke up. And I think
Hmm.
really, if you're a spiritual person, to me, I believe that's like God talking to me and telling me like right away,
Yep.
like, here, Chris, this is a great idea for you. Write this down and then,
Yep.
put it out there. Or
Because once
he'll
you get up
have,
and go to the bathroom, you forget.
yeah, that's all you need. It gives you enough time
Yep.
in that time period, man, you forget. Like,
Yeah.
I hear too often how many like guys forget about like what they dreamed about, the day before. And to me, I like no, I can still remember the dreams I had.
I never remember my dreams. I don't know what I dream about. I don't think I dream. I don't know. I don't never remember dreams.
As long as you're not like my wife, she'll be having some
But when
off the
she,
wall dreams, man. I,
yeah, no,
I
I
don't even
don't.
want to. I don't even want to get into that.
But make sure she look at the sun before she tell you about it.
Like, what the heck? She's like, I think I had too much Kool-Aid before I went to bed. I'm like, I think you did too. I think you
Yeah,
did. And honey, if you're watching
yeah.
this, I love you. I love you.
I know that's right. Yeah.
Please don't kill me for putting you out there like that.
Yeah.
Whew. Um, is there anything else you want to talk about that we haven't covered yet?
No, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, that went
Yeah.
probably pretty quick. I can't believe we've been on here an hour already.
Oh, so you don't even seem like it. And I was stressing, like, I'm not gonna be able to do an hour because
No.
I was looking at the other shows that you did, and I'm like, dang, they like 100 or something. I ain't gonna be able to do that. But yeah, look. Hmm.
Look at you. You was an all-star on the show. Did it.
Yeah.
Had that beautiful personality, man. Just
Thank you.
make it easy to talk to.
Yeah,
Like
and
you
I
said,
actually was pretty comfortable too. Usually I'd be stressed, but I was okay. I was comfortable, okay.
oh man, what's this guy gonna ask me?
Yeah.
Is he gonna be off the wall? He's gonna be asking me about my story, my life. What is it?
No, like you always plead the fifth.
Um,
Yeah.
um, I like doing this. So, uh, say somebody, what? Okay. Say somebody is looking to write a book, but is not quite sure on how to do it. What would your advice be to that person?
But first, you have to figure out what you want to write about. So once you obtain that information, you have to figure out like um where you want to start. Do you want to start it like from the beginning, the middle, the end of the story? How do you want to start your story? How do you want it to flow? um well, if you want to do like I always write out chapters. I don't always have chapters in my book, but I always write out like I'm gonna talk about this. So I give myself like a real good outline of what I might talk about. I might not touch everything that's in that outline, but I always outline my stuff, and I'll go back and check off stuff that I know that I've added in the story.
Oh, well,
Mhm.
I'm glad I'm not the only person that does that when it comes to writing.
Yeah.
At the always like, for me, I do like I always put end of chapter one, and then I go to chapter two, and then that's how I write. And no, I don't
And
have any
sometimes
books
I'll be
published.
all over the place, and then I have to come back and reorganize it.
Paper over here, paper over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, do you do it with a journal or you type?
Um, at first I was writing everything out by hand because I'm old school. Then I was like, I can't even read half of this stuff, so I started typing it because I'd be writing so fast. Sometimes I would be scribbling. I don't know, but so I started typing it out now,
Hmm.
and then I can easily cut and paste it if I want to move it around and print it out, and you know.
Yeah. My advice to the
Hmm.
person that is looking to get into writing right now and they don't know how to, or they want to know how to. My best advice for you is just start writing about your daily life. Get like a journal or something and just write what you do on a daily basis. And say you're on like a trip or something, or you're going out somewhere with your friends. Come back and then write about just your whole night, and then keep doing that for a little while. And those stories, when you go back to read them, you're gonna find yourself in a moment where you're like, "Did that actually happen? Did that really take place?" And then that's where it really will start to click for you. It'll begin to happen. You'll start coming up with ideas. It's just how to write your own stuff, your own material. And before you know it, you'll be writing your own books. And
Yeah,
that's my best advice for
yeah,
that person.
yeah.
All right.
Yep. So just to say that, so these are all available on Amazon
Can you show
right
us
now.
one more time the book?
Yes, I can. So this is the first one, is Real Love's Worth My Life. This is the second one. This is Diamond's Pearl. And then this is the last one that I've completed, which is Take a Walk in My Shoes.
Phew. Where'd you
Yeah.
come up with the covers from?
I have a this guy that I work with here. He designs all my covers for me. Actually, this one I'm gonna say this is my baby. She's on the cover. This is her. Yeah,
Details and little notes about behind the cover of the books.
yeah, yeah.
I've
And
always
I'll try
wondered
to
that
pretty much,
too.
huh?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'll say I'll kind of like tell him what the story is about, and then he'll like, what you think about this, and then we work like that.
Yeah, that's something I always wondered about, like how people, like people just come up with like covers for certain books. Like, did they think of it off the top of their head, or was it just how they just, they're like, okay, let's go with this. They ask somebody for their
Well,
opinion. Bam.
the first one I had him taking pictures in the cemetery. He was like, "They were taking all these weird pictures, and I didn't even use them."
Like, we're gonna take a picture of this random tombstone. Whatever. Finds you're like
Yeah.
googling somebody that has like the same name as the character. They're like, we're gonna go to the cemetery, take a picture.
Oh no,
Woo!
I didn't do that.
Like, whoa. And then you get
That's
people
not.
people like, hey, that's my grandpa, man. Why is he on the cover? Look at him. He always said he wanted to be famous. Look at him. His tombstone
You
made
a
it.
mess.
His tombstone made the cover of this book.
Somebody assumed me.
I don't know
Yeah.
you, lady, but thank you for helping
Right.
my grandpa's dreams come true. You made my grandpa famous.
Right. Yeah.
All right, as we begin to wrap this thing up, I just want to say thank you for coming on and telling your story and telling us about your stories, your books.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for just coming on and doing exactly that. Now let's
Oh
ask
yeah.
them. Go
Go
ahead, go
go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead.
So I would say so. I also, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is DM Cummings TWIM. That's my publishing company.
Okay, and
Yeah.
if anybody wants to reach out to you and talk to
hmm
you, how can they do that?
On Instagram, or I have a business Facebook page too. It's just DM Cummings.
DM Cummings. Uh,
Yeah.
does anybody make jokes about your name at all?
No.
Thank God.
No.
Nobody has a
No.
gutter.
No, they don't. People don't bother me. Everybody say if I'm not smiling, I look mean. So they people don't bother me.
See, and that's another thing I should add too. It's like, don't be so quick to judge somebody for how they look.
Yeah.
Somebody could take you as like, oh, she's a mean person, but then you go people
hmm
talk to you, it's like, she's cool,
She's
man. I
pretty
like her.
good, right?
She's cool.
Yeah.
And how
Yeah.
often, like, that's another thing is like how often we go by or judge somebody by their first look at them, the glance at them, and a lot of people are missing out as you're a writer.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Because I don't just go out announcing it to people. I tell because a lot of people don't want to support. So, and they'll kind of treat you a little bit different. So I tell who I know care. There you go.
I care. Hopefully, maybe I'll be one of your characters one day in your book.
Hey, you know what? I told you I got a crazy mind.
I'll be like I'll be like one of the side characters that just to pop up out of nowhere.
Uh-huh.
So she got invited to be on this talk show,
Right.
and life took a
Yeah.
spin.
Hey, it
Okay.
might. Who knows? Who
See,
might watch this show?
I'm giving you ideas, or
Hmm.
somebody else.
Yeah.
All right, the bonus questions. Where let's see what I can come up with here. 3 questions. Where do you like to travel? Where is your favorite place you ever been?
I'm gonna say the Bahamas because I want to swim with the dolphins. I got to do that when I went to the Bahamas.
The dolphin.
Yeah.
I just seen a cool video the other day actually. What a baby dolphin being born from the mom,
Oh,
and it
that's
was
probably looks a little cute.
yeah, it was pretty cool. Just to see it, come out, and then you think like, okay, what's happening next? The baby dolphin comes out of the mom and just goes straight to swimming with the mom, and I was
Oh,
so blown away by it, like wow. And it was like
yeah.
they have like the dolphins like okay, anybody that's wondering, they have a pouch underneath of them,
Hmm.
the dolphins, and that's where it happened at. This baby dolphin shoots out of the mom, and then automatically just knows how to swim, and it's just another day for it. It
Yeah, we
was it
got
was it was really cool.
Yeah, they let us rub that, and they let us like hug them, and they let him kiss us and everything. It was nice, and it was so weird because I was scared of the small fish, but not the dolphins.
No, you were
I was scared of the little fish though. They scared me.
wait. When them crabs start coming at you, the lobsters.
I didn't look down. I just said I'm gonna just keep looking up.
You're like, I hope it's a dolphin. It's not the other thing.
Right, right.
I could imagine how clear the water was out there in the Bahamas, though.
Yeah, it was
Are
beautiful out there. I had a really nice time.
you gonna go back?
Maybe one day. I do a lot of traveling with my daughter because she's she runs track and like she went to the Junior Olympics last year. So we travel a lot with her.
She's gonna be in the Olympics one day.
She came in seventh in the nation.
Wow,
Hmm.
look at you, man. Whew, got showing off, man.
Yes,
Got a
sir.
writer, got a daughter that's doing incredible. Life's blessing
Mm.
over there, man.
He keep blessing me. I need need a little bit more.
Second question. A lot of people are kind of. Do you have a testimony you'd like to share, or
mm, Not really. I don't know.
okay?
No. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a testimony. I don't really know.
Love life.
Oh, yep, I'll say so. I am in a relationship. I've been with my two younger kids' father for 17 years. Yeah.
17 years. Does it feel like it?
No, it don't. Nope.
Does it feel like
Mm-mm.
longer, or does it feel like it just happened?
It felt like shorter, but when I look at how old the kids are, I'm like, well, I guess we've been together a long time.
Damn, we've been together for a little bit of time here.
Right.
When did this happen?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, the final question:
Okay.
dogs or cats?
Well, dogs, but I like my cat. I have a dog and a cat, but I don't like other cat. I only like my cat.
I like this cat, but any other ones, they gotta go.
My dog cat act like a dog. He comes when I call him. He plays fetch. And my dog is a cat dog. My cat is a cat dog.
Cat dog,
Yep.
cat dog.
Yeah.
All right, it's been fun, guys. I hope you had a good laugh. I hope it's cheered you up. I hope it's inspired you.
Mhm.
But as I wrap this thing up, if anybody would like to come out here, tell their story sometime, this is an open platform for everybody. Invitation goes to anybody that, wants to tell their story. If you have a story to share, I'm here. If you do, I have it all in the info after this video ends. But this is Chris. That's DM. And she told her story.
Mhm.
Peace out, everybody.
All right.